Hi everyone, and welcome to Tarot for You 444. It's lovely to have you here with me. Today we're going to be starting the Ascension series. So excuse my bad curtains and my junk over there in the room. I'm yet to clean this room up, so obviously that doesn't matter, but I just thought I'd say it because, part of great ascension is cleaning up, around yourself as well as your inner self. So, obviously, ascension is a work in progress. So, a quick announcement before I begin on this first video for the Ascension series. And that is that I want to give away a free tarot reading. So what I'm going to do is at the end of this video, when I finish talking about Ascension, I'm going to shuffle my cards that I have here. I've got my Rider-Waite deck and also my secret deck. And I'm just going to show you like a little mini reading that I want to give away. So if you want to have a chance to get this little mini reading, all you need to do is comment below or like and share the video. And I may do, I'm feeling guided to do 3 free readings. So, all that you would need to do is, if I contact you, saying that you've won the reading down below, then you can just contact me at my email address, which I'll also leave, and then we can go from there so that it's private for you. So that's what I'm guided to do today, and this is the first video in the Ascension series, and I've been really excited to come to you with these videos because I've learned a lot recently about Ascension. And I want people to understand this as, not some pie in the sky idea that seems, impossible to get to. All right, so let me just have a little sip here. It's really early here in Australia. I think I didn't just check the time, but I'm pretty sure it's not even 7 o'clock yet. So you can see the windows behind me. The sun hasn't even come up yet. Alrighty, so today I want to talk about Ascension as a general topic of discussion. So I just want to cover the basics of Ascension so that we're on the same page when you watch the next videos. Alright, so I might call this video an introduction to Ascension for Twin Flames, if I remember that when I get to do the title. Something along those lines. So it's an introductory video so you can understand where I'm coming from, and where you, if you feel guided to watch these videos, where you can also have an understanding from. So first of all, I've just been looking at this guy thinking how funny he is, and it just is a little reminder that we should not be so serious all the time. He's I'm not exactly sure what this emoji means, because I'm kind of old school in that way, but I think it means g'day, how you going, like, or I'm joking around, or I'm having fun. So if I've ever sent any of you an emoji like this and it means something different than that, please comment below and tell me what it really means. I could probably Google it, but this guy for me was given to me actually, and so by my son. So it's just a cute little thing because he loves emojis. So this reminds me of having fun, that joyous place, watching a comedy movie perhaps, or something of that nature to keep your vibration high. Okay, so let's talk about what is Ascension. I just, I'm getting off track with this guy, but he's just so cute, and I wanted you to see him because he's, I don't know, he just reminds me of someone who wants to have fun, someone who wants to, you know, enjoy their life, someone who's not kind of stuck in the mud, which is like a saying here. It might be a saying in other countries as well. So, what is ascension? For me, ascension is a consciousness that we need to live within in our mind and our soul. And I'll tell you why not the body in a moment. But let me just start and say, you know, our mind has a consciousness. So you can have a 3D mindset, you can have a 4D mindset, you can have a 5D mindset. And these principles are relating to a consciousness or a frequency. Okay, so there's a third dimensional frequency, which is generally a fear-based frequency. There's a fourth dimensional frequency, which is, you know, a kind of frequency where people are starting to realize that, you know, maybe not all is what it seems in the world. You know, that there are, you know, signs and synchronicities coming in, that they can perhaps guide themselves a little bit by knowing certain things about these consciousness factors. So then, you know, the fifth dimensional consciousness would be, you know, this concept that we are loving beings and that we should give charity to people, with assertion, still having assertion, so we're not getting walked all over. And then, of course, the, you know, the consciousnesses go up, you know, to the 12th dimensional consciousness, you know, and even above that, which you could say, you know, sentient beings, or, you know, for some people they believe extraterrestrials would have a very, you know, a far greater consciousness than what we can even perceive. So that's the first understanding I want you to know. So for me, ascension is the consciousness of the being, of the human being, or of the sentient being, or of, you know, whoever we're discussing as a consciousness. So this occurs in the mind and in the soul. So the soul, you know, has a far greater consciousness than the mind has, because the mind is trapped within the, you know, the realms, or the possibilities, or the lack of possibilities of the body. And that's a really important thing. So now, why isn't the body in a certain level of consciousness? Why can't the body ascend? Well, the body can't ascend because it's in its physical form. You know, it's literally in the physical reality, the matter reality. Okay, so, you know, even if you go and do a meditation, which might take you to a greater consciousness, your body is still in the, you know, in matter, in the physical dimension. So I want you to understand that. So I want you to understand that your body is always residing here on earth, and that your mind and your soul have a consciousness that they can, you know, attain. Okay, and as you go through, if you believe in lifetimes, past lives, and reincarnation, the soul will grow and become, you know, far greater in its consciousness over time, as it learns and learns and learns and grows from experiencing all of the different lifetimes. You know, that's why you can say someone has an old soul, or someone seems to know so much and yet they're so young. Okay, so that's a really important distinction here. So if we just put the body to the side for the moment and realize that it's just biological matter with a brain and with a soul, then we can look at the mind separately to the soul, and just keep, let's just keep the body separately for a moment. Okay, so a lot of people speak of, you know, having conflict in their mind, you know, having a negative thought pattern or having a positive thought pattern or having just some sort of pattern in the mind where, you know, perhaps they can't meet their goals, or perhaps they can meet their goals, or, you know, how come that guy can make $10 million and that person is in poverty or lack? And, or how come that person's so happy whereas that person's depressed all the time? You know, that duality here, you know, it doesn't matter whether someone's rich or poor or depressed or not. That's not my goal here to say. What I'm trying to distinguish is, why is it that certain people go through certain things? And I'm here to tell you in this video, as an introduction, that the mind controls pretty much everything that we do. So if your mind is in a bad space, if your mind is in a 3D consciousness, so in a fear-based consciousness, in a place that's being negative or jealous or angry or you know, sad all the time, or even grief can be you know, a lower vibrational consciousness. Remember, I want you to think about frequency. So, you know, if the third dimensional consciousness is here, you know, and then we have the 12th dimension and above here, I want you to see this as a progression, and we can move from these with a thought, basically. So what I want you to understand is that the mind is the place where everything else stems from. Our health, our financial success, our happiness, our you know, our well-being in general, because what the mind says to the body will eventually come about. Okay, so let me just give you a quick example of this. Okay, so let's just say Joe wakes up in the morning and he feels negative. And so he starts having an internal dialogue that he feels not good enough for that particular day. And then all of a sudden he might, you know, hop out of bed and stub his toe. So then, of course, he's going to get angrier and he might swear, and he might, you know, get angry with his wife or his children, or, you know, he might ring up sick for work that day. He just, you know, he just gets in that trajectory of, you know, all this stuff is happening to me. And, you know, that anger or that fear or that, you know, that horrible feeling that's churning up inside of Joe then becomes this negative frequency, which we could call a third dimensional consciousness. Okay, and then let's say his wife, let's just call her Layla, she decides that she's going to get up in the morning and she's going to make a beautiful cup of peppermint tea, and she's going to put on her favorite movie. Let's say she's got the day off work and she's going to sit there and enjoy it, and then after that she's going to take her mum shopping, and she's going to have a bubble bath, you know, have a piece of chocolate, make dinner. You know, she's in that different consciousness or mindset. Okay, now when Joe comes home from work and he's really annoyed, he might start yelling at Layla. And so Layla has had a beautiful day. She's been living in, you know, 5th dimensional consciousness or even above. And then he comes in and puts his 3rd dimensional frequency or consciousness onto her. And in a minute, she can come down in frequency if she allows it to affect her. Okay, so then you can go from, excuse me, this 3rd dimensional frequency and change to a higher frequency, which means that for a lot of us, we can be up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and eventually it can make us feel unwell, or eventually it can make us feel like our chakras are out of alignment. Excuse me, let me just have a sip of water here. Okay, or it can make us feel like we're coming undone, or it can make us feel like we just don't want to go on with our day. All right, so other people's frequencies, consciousness as a frequency, can affect our frequency. Okay, now the soul is always vibrating at a much higher level than, our physical brain and heart. Let's add the heart in here, because if, when we're living in a love space, the heart will come in as well. So what I'm trying to say is that the soul is always up here. The soul is always living in this wonderful frequency. And when we're talking about twin flames, this is why we can have telepathic communication. This is why people say all the time on the twin flame journey, don't worry, your counterpart will always love you. And they will, because they're up here. We're talking higher self and soul level stuff. So the soul already knows how to be in a high frequency. But when the mind comes in and is at a lower frequency, this can really affect everything dramatically, in terms of health, in terms of whether you land that job or not, in terms of whether you argue with someone or not, or whether you take on board that someone's arguing with you, or whether or not you decide to, yell at your neighbor for making a sound that you don't like, or whether or not you decide to choose those lower emotions of jealousy, fear, sadness, hatred, racism. They're all lower frequencies. Okay? So I'm not saying that you shouldn't get mad for a minute if something's really annoying you, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't get sad for a minute if you are sad, but I'm saying that they are lower vibrational frequencies. And when you discern that from the higher frequencies that you can come into, the higher consciousness levels, then your whole world will change like that. Okay, so actually I take that back, because we live in a third dimensional reality, a physical reality. It does take some time for matter to be able to run its trajectory. So what you were thinking about 3 months ago, and you were laying in bed depressed or sad or eating chocolate, watching that movie, let's just say as an example, all of that lower frequency stuff can come back to you in the future. Okay, so the longer you stay in those negative frequencies or that lower consciousness, the more you will attract the same to you. So if you are being sad, the universe will bring you sadness. If you are being hateful, the universe will bring you hateful things. If you are being loving, the universe will bring you loving people, places and things. All right, so the universe is like a mirror. What you give out will come back to you. That's a universal law. That's not some pie in the sky idea that I came up with. That's the universal law. That's part and parcel to the law of attraction. That's why people say, close your eyes and imagine. Imagine how wonderful your life could be. That there is purpose to that, because what you do with your thought and your feeling together creates your reality. And then you add an action as well. But that's another video, so I won't go into that today. So what do you do if you are in these lower vibrational consciousness energies? What if you are feeling jealous? What if you are feeling hatred? What if you are being racist? What if you are having an argument with a family member who's being ridiculous? That can happen. Or a friend, or a partner, or your children, right? What you need to do is stay in a frequency that's as high as possible. And when you do this, you stop the argument. So, I mean, if someone came to you at the bus station and was totally abusing you, you've got a choice. You can either entertain their argument and start yelling and get angry and go into that lower frequency or lower consciousness, or you can walk away. So I always say here, what would love do? Would love continue the argument, or would love walk away? Sometimes it's necessary to say to someone, no, you're being unreasonable and I won't tolerate it. And then you speak your piece and walk away. That's called being assertive. And being assertive is part and parcel of being in a higher vibrational level of consciousness as well. But being rude for no reason, being jealous for no reason, or being hateful, or being unloving, or ungiving, or uncaring, or hurting someone on purpose is a lower vibrational consciousness, just like jealousy, just like sadness, just like anger. And this is just a discernment. I'm not saying that they're bad, I'm just saying that it's a lower frequency. So if you want to attract higher frequency things to you, you need to be in a vibration that matches it, because the universe will match your frequency at any stage. So if you're being loving, you'll find that loving people, places and things will come into your life. If you're being sad, you'll find that sad things and drama and all of that will come into your life. Okay, so this is why we need to stay as much as possible in the highest frequency that we possibly can. Now, when the mind is misbehaving, being negative, saying you can't do this or you can't do that, or it's never going to get better, or all of these, things, this is when we can say, no, stop. Literally imagine pulling your mind and putting it in the corner like you would put a little child in timeout for saying a naughty word, right? Do the same with your mind. Your mind is there to help you do problem solving. We want to come into the heart space and we want to live from the heart space, because it's there where joy, truth, love, freedom, abundance, and all of those other high vibrational consciousness and emotions live. Okay, so it's not just about saying, oh, we need to love everyone and we're all one and we're all, fantastic and it's all rainbows and unicorns and, everything's lollipops and chocolate and, you know what I mean. It's not all like this every day, is it? We're not all like, yay, we're having a great day. I still don't know what this emoji means, so please tell me in the comments if you do. Yeah, I just love it though. It's so funny. So staying in that high vibration may mean that you need to go, or the level of consciousness, right? That you need to fake it until you make it. So if you're sort of having a bad day, you might go, well, I'm just going to put on my favorite movie today. I'm just going to listen to that song I love. I'm literally going to just go in my bedroom and dance for a while. I'm going to ground myself in nature. I'm going to put my feet in the soil. I'm going to have a bubble bath. I am going to ring my mum because I know she wants to go shopping and I love spending time with her, let's say. Okay, so you can change your own frequency and consciousness at any given time. In any given moment, you can just change it on a dime. For all our US viewers, you can change it on a dime. For everyone else, whatever currency you have, I don't know. Okay. In Australia, it would be dollar. You can change it on a dollar. All right. Like that. You can change your mind at any time to live in joy. And then you can go from joyful moment to joyful moment to joyful moment to joyful moment to joyful moment. And if you have a little hiccup in between, you can pick yourself up and say, whoop, I'm just going to fake it till I make it. Let's go to joy. Let's go to joy. Let's go to God, if you believe in God. Let's go to meditation. Let's do some yoga. Let's go outside and dance. Let's go and take my kids to the park, if you've got kids. Let's make love in the rain, right? Whatever it is for you, that's your joy. Not the man down the street or the woman down the street or the kid down the road. Their joy might be completely different to you. They might love, bicycle riding and you hate that. That's not your joy. You need to follow your joy. Okay? I've joked about this before. I love the Carpenters. I'm really old school. I love all of their stuff, as old as they are. But if I sent you a Carpenters song, you might just never be friends with me ever again. Okay? So I also like newer stuff too. But that's my joy. All right? My joy is also taking a long bath. That's why I've got wet hair now, because I got up and I had a bath before I came to talk to you. Okay, so what is your joy? That's going to keep you high frequency. What do you love to do? Do you love to draw? Do you love to paint? Do you love to go hiking? Do you love to work with animals? Do you love to speak to children? Do you love to study? Do you love to do light work? I know a lot of you do. All right, let's get into the mini reading. This is what I'm going to do as a freebie for 3 people. So thank you for joining me for my introduction on Ascension. I'm going to continue this series, hopefully daily. Hopefully daily. We can only hope, can't we? Just quickly, I want to thank all of the people who are trying to help and do mission, and who are also, struggling with their own journey and still going out and doing the best for others. I think it's fantastic. I think it's wonderful. I think you should be commended for all that you do. I feel really happy that there are so many light workers or twin flame coaches or counselors helping other people on this journey. It's definitely a journey to self. It's definitely a journey to, bettering yourself and feeling good about yourself. All right, so this is how the free mini readings are going to go. So I'm going to do it as a divine masculine reading, but you can let me know, if you win a reading, you can let me know if you want it to be about you, your divine masculine, your karmic partner, like your husband or wife or a soulmate or whoever. Okay? So I'm going to do thinking, feeling and doing, what's going on for the divine masculine collective now, that I'm channeling for, and then I'll do secrets that they're not saying, and then you'll know what your reading will be like if you get to be one of my free people. Just remember, you just need to like, comment, subscribe or share. You have to comment, because otherwise I won't know that you want a reading. So just say, yes, pick me, I want a reading, and I'll go to the 3 people I'm guided to go to. Okay. Okay, so bottom of the deck we've got the Emperor, Mr. I know what I'm doing, I'm in control, I'm the king of all kings. I've got he wants to think he's got the money, the clarity, the 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 passion and the love all happening. This is who he feels like right now. He feels like the Emperor. He's like, yeah, I've got this, which is great energy. Okay, that's the overall energy of this reading. So then we've got, in his thinking space, he wants to offer something passionate here. A passionate offer is coming, maybe coming your way. He's thinking about this. There's been an end to this, blockage of I'm not talking anymore, perhaps for some, or I can't deal with this anymore. And, for a very long time, as a past energy and then coming into the now, he's wanted to, pretty much make love to divine feminine. Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what is in his mind space, in his thoughts. Okay, so he's thinking of coming through with an offer. He's been thinking a lot about sex and or intimacy. For some, it can be a player energy. Okay, so he's feeling like there's been a bit of injustice, with regards to what he wants in love, right? He's feeling that, not all is completely coming together yet. That's more of a past energy for me right now. Because of this card. This is a special card in this Rider-Waite deck that hasn't actually got a name. It's actually like it's sort of like the Lover's card, but a bit more marriagey, if you like. So, he's feeling like, this came through in the reading the other day, actually, he's feeling like, the divine feminine is marriage material. Okay? But he kind of doesn't know how to get the justice there. He kind of doesn't know how to bring it about in his emotional space, in his feeling space, and also in his mind a little bit. So you can want to marry someone all you like, but getting to that point where you actually ask someone or actually make a commitment to do that is a whole nother issue. So in his action space, we have this knowing that you are the counterpart, this knowing that he wants to tell you that he knows this if he hasn't already done so. This knowing that he wants to offer you love, which is really funny because on the bottom of the deck, it's like, I've got all this confidence, I'm grounded, I know I can do this. And then he comes in at the action space with a page. Well, I'll just give a little bit right now because I don't know how to give this big bit right now. And wow, under the Emperor, we've actually got the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is really beautiful. For some of you, your divine masculine will have a W in their name, or if we flip it upside down, an M in their name. That's coming through quite strongly. They may also be religious, I'm getting. Okay, so what is the divine masculine not saying right now for this collective that I'm channeling for? We're going to use the sneaky cheeky deck. The sneaky cheeky deck. Sorry. I've got a really easy sense of humor. Like, I just laugh at everything sometimes, which is good too. Laughter is the best medicine, as they say. And the other one is an apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's an important message for some of you too today. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. If you're feeling exhausted, look up vitamin B12 deficiency and or iron deficiency for some of you. Some of you aren't helping yourself with your diet at this time. All right, let's see. This is the secrets. Divine masculine's not saying. Okay, what have we got here? Okay, so I'm not going to hold these cards up really, because they're not really picture cards. So I'm just going to read from here. So he's been working really hard at his day job, his physical reality job. He's been working really, really hard. He's recently had a transformation and become stronger within his knowing, which is why we had the Emperor at the bottom of the deck before. So you might not be aware of this. You know, he's kind of rising like the phoenix a little bit. You know, he's had his own epiphanies. He's had his own things going on which have helped him, you know, to lead him to up to this point. You know, signs, synchronicities, that type of thing. Intuition, listening to himself. Okay, so then we get that he's wanting to make this offer to you, Divine Feminine. This came up in the reading the other day as well. He wants to make an offer. It's the same card again as a repeat card, the Page of Wands. He wants to come through with a passionate offer to you. And in some cases it may be an apology, which I didn't say before. Okay, so he wants to come in with this offer to you. He really wants to move away with you into a balanced relationship. You know, he's starting to see, especially with the, you know, the world crisis and things going on at the moment, he's starting to see what's really important to him. You know, is that money as important as I thought it was? Possibly not. Is that person, place or thing that I was spending a lot of time with as important to me as I thought? Possibly not. Is my Divine Feminine something I want to really, you know, be around, be with, spend time with, commit to? Yes. Yes. You know, this guy here wants to be the king of all kings. This guy here wants to give himself to the Empress, which is the counterpart of the Emperor. Okay, this is a very stable energy, actually. This is someone who's grounded, knows how to love, has clarity, knows how to make money, and has passion. This is someone who really, really, really knows what they want, which is beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. So he just is working out how to get to there. So that is what I want to do for 3 lucky people. So if you want a free reading and I'm guided to you in the comments section, all you need to do is leave a comment in the comment section. And if you feel guided to, you know, like the video and share it, that would be great too. But I will be picking 3 people, and I'll contact you in the comments section. So I'll say, please contact me at blah, 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 if I pick you. Alrighty. So I want to get more subscribers to my channel so that more people can hear these messages that need to hear these messages. The sun is coming out, so you can't see me as well, which is probably a good thing. Alright, so yeah, the more people that get to see these videos, the better. And then we can sort of work through this journey together. I'd like to give, like I say, 3 free readings. So, you know, comment below, like, subscribe if you wish to do so. If this message doesn't resonate for you at this time, it means it's not meant for you. There's the light again. And that's fine too. You know, not every reader or every channeler will be right for you. So, you know, take it how it resonates. And, you know, some of the things might be good for you and some might not. But welcome to my Ascension series. This was the introduction, and I'll see you soon in my next video. We're playing with the light today, and I'm so glad to see you all. And I'm going to go and have some breakfast. Okay, have a great day, everyone. And someone please tell me what this means. Because he just makes me laugh so much. Look at him. He's just so happy. We could all learn something from this guy. I don't know. We need to name him too. We need a name for him. Alrighty. See you soon. Bye.